Hello, football fans, and welcome to this 2025 NFL offseason review and NFL draft preview for the AFC West Division here on Tim Reynolds Show as I go over each team's key free agent additions here in this 2025 NFL offseason, and we'll also preview the 2025 NFL draft needs by position for each team in the AFC West Division. So please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to continue to support one of the most electrifying sports entertainment channels on all of YouTube. It's Tim Reynolds Show. Now let's go. And guys, thank you for all your support on all of my NFL content and more of my content right here on my YouTube channel. It's Tim Reynolds Show. And we'll get things kicked off here with the AFC West Division and the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos were able to have a very good season last year, making the playoffs for the first time in quite a few seasons for the Denver Broncos franchise. And we see this 2025 NFL offseason has been an interesting one thus far for the Denver Broncos. As we see on offense, they were able to add tight end Evan Ingram on a 2-year, $23 million deal, and he should definitely come and help improve that passing game for the Denver Broncos offense and give another weapon for quarterback Bo Nix. He also got $16.5 million fully guaranteed in the deal. And we also see on the defensive side of the ball, the Denver Broncos were able to bring in linebacker Dre Greenlaw on a 3-year deal worth up to $35 million, but they weren't done there. They also bring in Tungalo Hufanga, the safety, signs a 3-year deal worth up to $45 million with $20 million fully guaranteed at signing, and he should definitely help improve that back end, the secondary for this Denver Broncos defense. Now, those are just some of the key free agent additions here for the Denver Broncos. They did add a few other pieces, but these were the key free agent additions, and as we head into the NFL draft, I think the draft needs for the Denver Broncos along that defense are going to be at the defensive line. They've got to get better with their pass rush if they want this defense to take a step up heading into next season. And on offense, I think the Denver Broncos are going to be looking at offensive linemen, trying to help get some more depth along that O-line to help them out and help give better protection to quarterback Bo Nix heading into next season. And guys, after this, we go over the AFC West Division champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, and a tough Super Bowl loss for these Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, but they were able to make some moves here in this 2025 NFL offseason that should help improve their squad heading into next year. They were able to re-sign and bring back running back Kareem Hunt on a 1-year deal worth $1.5 million, and also were able to bring in running back Elijah Mitchell, who comes from the San Francisco 49ers, where he played some pretty decent ball at the running back position for the 49ers, as he signs a 1-year deal worth $2.5 million with $1.35 million fully guaranteed at the deal. They also re-signed wide receiver Marquise Brown on a 1-year contract worth up to $11 million, and also re-signed wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster to a 1-year deal as he comes back to help improve that wide receiving core as well. On the offensive line, the Kansas City Chiefs were able to sign offensive tackle Jalen Moore to a 2-year, $30 million deal as he comes from the San Francisco 49ers, where he had a few starts thus far early in his career, but now he'll head into the Kansas City Chiefs, where he's expected to be the starting offensive tackle for this Chiefs offense. And we see on the offensive line, they also signed offensive guard Trey Smith to a non-exclusive franchise tag that will pay him $23.4 million next season. Offensive guard Trey Smith has been one of the best offensive guards in the NFL over the last few years, so they're able to keep him around on this non-exclusive franchise tag, but we have heard reports that the Kansas City Chiefs will look to extend the offensive guard Trey Smith. And on defense, the Kansas City Chiefs were able to re-sign linebacker Nick Bolton on a 3-year deal worth up to $45 million with $30 million fully guaranteed for the standout linebacker Nick Bolton, who's been a big part of this Kansas City Chiefs defense over the last few years, helping them on their Super Bowl run. So this was a big re-signing for the Kansas City Chiefs franchise. And also on defense, they're able to bring in cornerback Christian Fulton on a 2-year, $20 million deal with $15 million fully fully guaranteed, and also signed veteran safety Mike Edwards, who returns to the Kansas City Chiefs, where he won a few Super Bowls with, and hopefully these two guys can come in and help improve that secondary for the Kansas City Chiefs defense heading into next year. And as far as the draft needs for the Kansas City Chiefs as we head into the 2025 NFL draft and we preview their draft needs by position here on Tim Reynolds Show, I think on defense, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be looking to improve their pass rush and get a little bit younger along that defensive line, and they'll most certainly look to improve that pass rush here in the NFL draft, and also could be looking at the linebacker position to get a little bit more depth there on defense. And on offense, I think they'll be looking at offensive linemen. They really need to get a lot younger at the position. They really need a young offensive tackle to really help protect quarterback Patrick Mahomes, and they didn't protect him very well last season. So heading into this NFL draft, I think offensive linemen are going to be the biggest need for this offense heading into the draft, but don't rule out them looking at a running back as well to help that backfield for this Kansas City Chiefs offense in this 2025 NFL draft. And guys, up next here in this AFC West division, we're going over the Las Vegas Raiders. And what a very interesting offseason it's been for the Raiders here, as they made a huge trade this offseason here in 2025. They were able to acquire quarterback Geno Smith in a trade with the Seattle Seahawks in exchange for a 2025 third-round pick, and we also see Smith, who gets traded over to the Raiders just for a third-round pick in this upcoming draft. He now signs a new contract extension, a 2-year contract extension worth up to $85.5 million, with $66.5 million fully guaranteed for the quarterback that now looks like he will be the starter and the franchise quarterback going forward for this Las Vegas Raiders franchise, as it looks like new head coach Pete Carroll has his guy at the quarterback position, bringing in an old friend from Seattle. Former Seattle Seahawks starting quarterback Geno Smith will now be the starter for the Las Vegas Raiders heading into next season. A big trade for the Raiders to be able to get a franchise quarterback, a veteran that Pete Carroll, the new head coach, knows he can trust to run this offense. And hey, Pete being reunited with Geno Smith with all the success that they had in Seattle, this definitely should be a good pairing for Las Vegas Raider fans going forward. We also see on offense, the Las Vegas Raiders were able to bring in running back Raheem Mostert on a 1-year deal worth just over $2 million, and also sign offensive guard Alex Kappa to a 2-year $11 million deal, and hopefully he will come in and help improve that offensive line for this Las Vegas Raiders offense. And guys, on defense, a huge contract extension for defensive end and edge rusher Max Crosby, as he signs a 3-year contract extension worth up to $106.5 million, with $91.5 million fully guaranteed in the deal. And at the time when they signed him to this contract extension, edge rusher Max Crosby became the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, and he was also scheduled to make $35.5 million per season, and he was the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history with this contract extension before we seen the Cleveland Browns give defensive end Myles Garrett and that veteran pass rusher a huge contract extension that pays him $40 million per year, which made Myles Garrett the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. But now we know that Max Crosby will be around this Las Vegas Raiders franchise for years to come, a very good piece for that defense and a very good veteran and captain for that defense that should definitely help step up with the new guys coming in for that Las Vegas Raiders defense. And we also see, looking on the defensive side, the Raiders also bring in linebacker Devin White, signing him to a free agent deal. They also bring in cornerback Eric Stokes, signing him to a 1-year $4 million deal. They also bring in safety Jeremy Chin, signing him on a 2-year deal worth up to $16 million. And they hope, that Jeremy Chin can really help improve this secondary that was very lackluster. This whole defense for the Las Vegas Raiders last season was just terrible. So hopefully they can prove here with some of these key free agent additions. They also re-signed defensive lineman Adam Butler to a 3-year contract worth up to $16.5 million, with $11 million in guarantees in the new deal. And he should definitely come in and help the new guys get acquainted with this Las Vegas Raiders defense as they look to improve based on how bad bad they were last year. Now, as the Las Vegas Raiders head into the 2025 NFL draft, I think their draft needs on defense will be looking at the linebacker position and possibly helping out the secondary. And on offense, I really think that the Raiders are going to be looking at offensive linemen, but could be looking at weapons at the running back position with how bad their running game was last year. With most mock drafts have the Las Vegas Raiders selecting a running back, Boise State's running back Alshon Jeffrey in the first round. That would be a huge pick for the Raiders. They really need to get better with their run game for their offense heading into next season. And guys, last but not least, here in this AFC West division, it is the Los Angeles Chargers. And guys, the Chargers had a very interesting offseason with a few moves here they were able to make to improve their team, including bringing in quarterback Trey Lance on a one-year deal worth $6.2 million, as he will compete with Taylor Heineke for the backup quarterback spot after quarterback Taylor Heineke was re-signed on a one-year deal to return to the Los Angeles Chargers. They also bring in running back Najee Harris on a one-year deal worth up to $5.25 million, with just over $3.25 million fully guaranteed in this deal. And hopefully Najee Harris will come in and help improve this running game for the Los Angeles Chargers. Even though they were pretty good on the running game last year with J.K. Dobbins, they hope Najee Harris will be a little bit of an upgrade for that running back position. This deal also has a max value of $9.25 million with incentives for running back Najee Harris. They also bring back wide receiver Mike Williams, who signs a one-year deal worth up to $6 million. And now Mike Williams returns to the Los Angeles Chargers and now will be a big weapon for quarterback Justin Herbert. And I'm sure Mike Williams is happy to be back in LA with the Chargers franchise after going to the Jets and Steelers last season in his first year as a free agent wide receiver. And that didn't really turn out very well for wide receiver Mike Williams, who's now back with the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers also bring in tight end Tyler Conklin on a one-year $3 million deal worth of a max value of $4.5 million. So $4.5 million in max value for this contract for tight end Tyler Conklin, who should help improve that tight end position for the Los Angeles Chargers. We also see the Chargers were able to sign offensive guard Mekhi Becton to a 2-year $20 million deal, and hopefully he comes in as a Super Bowl champion with the Philadelphia Eagles last season. Hopefully he'll be able to come in and help out that offensive line for this Los Angeles Chargers offense. And we see on defense, they were able to sign edge rusher Deshaun Hand to a one-year deal worth just over $3 million. They're also able to bring back edge rusher Khalil Mack, re-signing him on a one-year deal worth $18 million. That is all fully guaranteed for the veteran defensive lineman that now returns to the Los Angeles Chargers defense. And this is a big re-signing for the franchise, especially after they let go and released veteran defensive lineman Joey Bosa from his contract here with the Chargers defense. They also were able to bring in defensive lineman Tahir Tart on a new-year deal, and also were able to sign linebacker Troy Dye on a 2-year $5.5 million deal worth a max value of $8 million, and also were able to re-sign linebacker Denzel Perryman, who's been a big player for this Los Angeles Chargers defense throughout his NFL career. They also bring in quarterback Dante Jackson as the corner there, signs a 2-year $13 million deal, and also bring in cornerback Elijah Molden on a 3-year deal worth $18.75 million, and this is a contract extension that they give Elijah Molden, and it also includes $13.5 million in guarantees for one of the defensive backs that was very good for this Los Angeles Chargers defense last season. And they're also able to bring back veteran safety Tony Jefferson as he re-signs with the Chargers here in free agency as well. And as the Chargers head into the 2025 NFL draft and we preview their draft needs here on Tim Reynolds Show by position, I think on defense, the Chargers are going to be looking at their secondary, getting a little bit younger to really help out that back end of their defense. And also on offense, I think we'll be looking at the Chargers being one of those teams looking at weapons at the wide receiver position and at tight end. They need to be able to get some more weapons for quarterback Justin Herbert for him to be able to take this offense to a whole nother level, especially after they were able to make a playoff run last year. So this team has got to make calculated moves and be able to draft the right guys if they want a chance to improve off of their success from last season. And guys, this has been your 2025 NFL offseason review and NFL draft preview for the AFC West best division here on Tim Reynolds Show, one of the most electrifying sports entertainment channels on all of YouTube. It's Tim Reynolds Show. Now let's go. And thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you, football fans. Thank you, NFL fans, for checking out my NFL content here on Tim Reynolds Show. And please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to continue your support of all of my NFL content and more content right here on Tim Reynolds Show. Let's go. Peace out, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you at the 2025 NFL Draft, where we will be live here on Tim Reynolds Show going over all the action for the 2025 NFL Draft. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day, guys, and thank you for all your support.